Welcome to Pints, Plates and Passports, and welcome to Mould. Before we begin our journey through Mould, there are two important places in Buckley we need to acknowledge. We open today's episode by returning briefly to Buckley, a town with a strong tradition of community pubs and social spaces. In our Buckley episode, two significant venues were unintentionally missed, and it's only right that we give them their place at the start of this episode. The first is the Hope and Anchor, a well-established Buckley pub known for its welcoming atmosphere and long-standing connection to the town. The second is the Buckley Conservative Club, another key institution that has served as a gathering point for generations. Both venues play an important role in Buckley's identity, and including them here allows us to complete our coverage of the town properly. After those two pubs, we'll take on Mould, but also Sawton, Northop and Northop Hall. Mould is a town shaped by centuries of history, community life and cultural activity. Its origins stretch back to the ancient settlement around Bailey Hill, and its development as a market town has made it a central hub for the surrounding area. Today, Mould remains a place where tradition and modern life coexist, creating a town that feels both historic and vibrant. As we explore Mould, we will be visiting not only its pubs, but also its independent shops, many of which contribute significantly to the town's character. These businesses, from long-established family shops to newer ventures, reflect the creativity, resilience and individuality of the people who run them. They form an important role of Mould's identity, offering something unique that larger towns often lose. We will also be highlighting Mould's tourist attractions, which help tell the story of the town. From the historic Bailey Hill and the surrounding heritage sites to the cultural venues and community spaces that bring people together. Mould offers far more than a typical market town. These attractions, combined with its pubs and independent shops, create a fuller picture of the place with depth, history and a strong sense of community. After our time in Mould, the journey continues outward into the surrounding villages. We head first to Sawton and to the Cross Keys pub, and from there we head to Northop Hall and Northop, where we visit the Boot Inn, the Red Lion and the Top Monkey pub. Each of these places has its own story, its own rhythm and its own pubs that serve as focal points for local life. Together they form a wider picture of this region, a place where history, community and everyday life are closely intertwined. This episode is about exploring those connections, one stop at a time. So as I've already said, we're starting today's video by showing you two of the Buckley pubs we missed in our last episode. And the first one genuinely leaves us wondering how on earth we managed to miss it. This is the Hope and Anchor. Though in Buckley, nobody calls it that. Locally, it's known simply as the Trap. The nickname comes from a lake on the common right beside the pub, a place that's been part of Buckley life for generations. The lake itself even made the history books when a German plane crashed into it in 1941. The pub is open Monday to Thursday 4 till 11, Friday 4 till 1, Saturday 2 till 1 and Sunday 12 till 11. Dogs are welcome and children are welcome until 9 p.m. Behind the bar you'll find Coors, Heineken, Carlin, Red Stripe, which you don't see in many places, Moretti, Stowford Press, John Smith's, Guinness and Kronenbourg 1664. It's expertly run by Sophie and John Hughes, who have picked up several awards recently, including one specifically recognising the quality of their Guinness. They also proudly claim to have the cheapest spirits in all of Buckley. Inside, the decor is warm and cosy, with some great display pieces. There are wooden anchor features, nods to the pub's name, and a brilliant collection of boxing memorabilia, including Ricky Hatton signed items and even reproductions of the old Cray Twins fight posters. They show all the live sports and the food offering is stronger than many expect. A great smash burger menu, authentic Indian curries and a range of other dishes. An open mic night is due to start soon and may well be running by the time this video goes live. There's also a busy quiz every Wednesday and it was in full swing when we visited. We ended up joining two quiz goers, two lovely girls, LJ and Jade, with Dr. Bob nearby offering his encyclopedic knowledge. In truth, me and Elaine were probably a bit more of a hindrance than a help, but despite LJ and Jade insisting they weren't very good at quizzes, they surprised us with the answers they knew. We left before the end to give them a better chance of climbing the leaderboard. This is a family-run pub with a friendly local crowd, and they all pull together for charities. In March, 15 regulars took part in the Great Tommy Sleepout, raising money and awareness for veterans. LJ and Jade kindly shared photos from the event for us to include in this video, a brilliant effort from everyone involved. The Hope and Anchor, or The Trap, is a Buckley institution and absolutely deserves to be included, and we're glad to put that right today. And we can only apologise that it's ended up in the Mould video instead of where it belongs in the Buckley video. The second Buckley venue we missed in our previous video is the Buckley Conservative Club, shown here. When we visited, we spoke with Rick, who kindly took the time to check with the committee about whether they wanted to be included. A couple of days later, he rang us back to say they preferred to keep things simple and would rather we only showed the outside photo of the club. We fully respect that and we're grateful they took the time to consider it. The Conservative Club is a members club, so you would need to apply to join or already know someone who is a member. From what we saw, it's clearly a well-kept and well-used venue, with 2 full-size snooker tables and teams competing in the local snooker league. It's the kind of place that has its own rhythm, its own regulars, very low prices and a long history of serving the community quietly and consistently. Although we're only showing the exterior at their request, it's still an important part of Buckley's social landscape, another piece of the town story that deserved to be acknowledged. And again, we apologise for not including it in the Buckley video. And that wraps up the 2 Buckley pubs we missed. From here, we moved on to Mould. We purposefully came on a Wednesday, because Wednesday is market day in Mould, as is a Saturday. And we wanted to see the town at its busiest. Mould Street Market is one of the longest running in the region, and on a typical Wednesday it stretches right through the town centre with a strong mix of traders and regular customers. Unfortunately, today the weather was against everybody. Rain, wind and the kind of conditions that usually thin out a crowd. Even so, the market was still relatively busy. Most of the vendors here are food traders, and they come out rain or shine because their produce has to be sold within its best before dates. Despite the poor weather, the commitment was clear and the atmosphere remained lively. It was here that we found a real standout for a little snack. Falafel and Company, a small van run by a husband and wife team who started the business as a retirement project. Everything is made fresh and the falafel genuinely was the best I've ever tasted. What began as something to keep them busy in retirement has clearly become far more successful than they expected. Also on the market was Daz's extravagant cakes and bakes, serving from a beautifully restored 1967 Austin A35 van. Daz creates bespoke handmade cakes for any occasion and trades here on both the Wednesday and Saturday markets. We picked up a couple of pieces of Manchester tart and it was exceptional. Easily the nicest Manchester tart I've ever had. This was our introduction to Mould, a town where even on a difficult weather day, the market still thrives, the traders still turn up and the food alone is worth a visit. And there was even more to see here food-wise. One of the busiest parts of the market was the large deli-style stall, with whole wheels of cheese stacked across the counter. You could buy an entire wheel or just a slice cut to whatever size you wanted. The range was impressive and it added to the sense that Mould Market still holds on to that traditional old-style shopping experience. And nearby was a bakery stall with an equally strong following. We picked up some of their burnt top bread rolls and they were excellent. Simple, fresh and exactly the kind of thing that keeps people coming back week after week. For a wet, windy Wednesday, there was a surprising amount happening. Even on a quieter day, the market felt alive, with traders committed to being here and customers still turning out despite the weather. It's clear that Mould's market isn't just surviving, it's thriving. And just a short walk from the outdoor stalls on the high street is Mould Indoor Market. While a number of the units were closed during our visit, there was still enough to make it interesting. And the highlight of the indoor market for us was the deli and bakery inside, offering a good selection of fresh produce, baked goods and specialty items. Even on a quieter day, it added another layer to Mould's market scene and showed how much variety the town has between its indoor and outdoor traders. So while I was spending time mooching around the market, Elaine's day in Mould got off to a slower start. Her first call was the Glass Frin, an upmarket running and priced pub restaurant known for its food and its views. It's a place that comes highly recommended, especially for dining. The staff needed to check with the manager before allowing any filming, so Elaine took a few photos outside and moved on. And next was the Griffin Inn in nearby Munedisa, another venue where the manager approval was required and not available at the time. And to complete the hat-trick, the following stop was the Penny Bont Farm. This is a Marsden's gastropub. Again, manager permission was needed. So Elaine took an exterior photo, and look how beautiful it is, and continued on. Elaine's first fully featured pub of the day was the Queen's Head, another Marsden's venue, but this time with the manager present and happy for us to come inside and take some shots. In fact, there was a genuine warmth to the welcome here, and it's clear that hospitality is something they take pride in. At the bar, they serve Kronenbourg 1664, Strongbow Dark Fruits, Foster's, Strongbow, Moretti, Guinness, Carlsberg, Mansfield Smooth, San Miguel, Pedery Amber Ale. They offer deals on spirit doubles, and there's a well-kept outdoor area. Opening hours are 12 till 11, with later closing times at the weekends. Children are welcome, and the pub serves the classic Marsden's food menu. Extensive, familiar, and with something for everyone. And they also run the familiar midweek food offers. Tuesday, burger and a drink offers. Wednesday, curry and a drink. Thursday, grill and a drink. And Friday is Fizz Friday, with a bottle of Prosecco for just £13.50. Sundays feature home-cooked Sunday roasts, which are a weekly highlight for many. Entertainment includes karaoke nights, live bands, duos and solo artists, and the pub is home to a pool team as well as the Mould Alexandra Vets. Nicola told us she loves the people of the town and the strong sense of community here. The charity work here is a big part of what defines the Queen's Head, and one event in particular stands out. In July, a few family, friends and staff will be taking on a major challenge, a 56-mile sponsored walk from Barmouth all the way back to the pub, completed over 2 days. It's a huge effort, both physically and mentally, and they're doing it to raise money for the Counselling Hub charity. If anyone would like to sponsor them in this mammoth event, we've left a link in the description. It's a meaningful cause, and the scale of the walk just shows how committed this group is to helping others. Elaine's next planned stop was the Rithing Castle pub, a striking building with real presence. Unfortunately, it was closed during our visit. We weren't able to go inside or speak with anyone on the day. Even so, just looking at the exterior, it's clear why this place stands out. The architecture alone makes an impression, and it's easy to see why it's considered one of the most distinctive pubs in the area. After I left browsing around the market, I walked up to the top of the high street to visit St Mary's Church, one of Mould's most significant historic buildings. Standing on raised ground above the town, the church dominates the skyline and has done for centuries. The church we see here today dates largely from the late 15th and early 16th centuries, built in the perpendicular Gothic style. Its construction was substantially supported by Lady Margaret Beaufort, the mother of King Henry VII, who funded the rebuilding shortly after her son came to the throne. Her husband, Thomas Stanley, was Lord of Mould and had played a decisive role in Henry's victory at the Battle of Bosworth in 1485. An earlier church stood on this site and is recorded as far back as 1291, but by the late 1400s it had fallen into disrepair. Only the old tower was kept when work on the new church began around 1490. After Margaret Beaufort's death in 1509, funding slowed, and the nave and aisles were not completed until around 1550, with additional contributions from 2 bishops of St Asaph. Inside, the church contains many crests and heraldic symbols of the Stanley family, including references to their title as Kings of Man. Outside, carved animals and gargoyles decorate the upper stonework. Most of the bells date from 1732, with 2 more added in 2005. In the churchyard is the tomb of Richard Wilson, 1713 to 1782. He was one of the founders of the Royal Academy and a major figure in the development of British landscape painting. Wilson spent a lot of time in Mould in his childhood, and his work, including views of Snowdonia, influenced generations of artists. St Mary's remains an active parish church today, continuing a tradition of worship on a site that stretches back many centuries. It's one of Mould's most important landmarks, both architecturally and historically, and a reminder of the town's deep connections to the early Tudor court. At the top end of the high street, there are several independent shops that add real character to this part of Mould. One of the standouts is Alexander's, a business that operates with two distinct identities depending on the time of day. By day, Alexander's coffee shop serves breakfasts, light meals and quality coffee in a relaxed setting. It's a popular stop for locals and visitors with a reputation for good food and a welcoming atmosphere. By night, the same space becomes Alexander's Pizza House, a licensed artisan pizzeria known for its handcrafted stone-baked pizzas. These have earned something of a legendary status in the town, and the shift from daytime cafe to evening pizzeria gives the place a unique rhythm that reflects the independent spirit of Mold High Street. And nearby, at the top end of the High Street, is Daniel Morris Family Traditional Butchers, another long-standing independent business that adds to the character of this part of Mold. It's a proper family butcher's shop, the kind of place that still works in the traditional way. Quality cuts, personal service and a focus on produce that keeps regular customers coming back. Shops like this are an important part of Mold. They offer something you don't always find in larger towns, a direct connection to the people who prepare the food, a sense of continuity and a commitment to doing things well. Daniel Morris is a good example of that, and it sits comfortably alongside the other independents that help define this end of the High Street. Next along this stretch is Cracked Coffee House, a specialty coffee shop with a clear focus on quality. They roast their own coffee, and everything about the place reflects that commitment, from the beans to the brewing to the atmosphere inside. Their aim is simple: to grow a community of people who appreciate great coffee, good company, or simply a welcoming place to spend time. It's the kind of independent business that gives Mold's High Street its character: thoughtful, modern, and built around people who care about what they do. The Cracked Coffee House adds another layer to the mix of independence at this end of town, showing how Mold blends long-standing traditional shops with newer, more contemporary spaces. And just along from there is Lovely's Delights, a welcoming independent coffee and cake shop that has become a favourite for many in Mold. They serve fair trade coffees and a selection of loose leaf teas, with a counter full of freshly made cakes and treats. This is a shop where people drop in for a quiet moment, a catch-up, or simply something sweet. There's a nice rhythm to it: coffee to cake and back to coffee again, and it adds another layer to the independent spirit that defines this end of the High Street. Next along is Blasis, and the name fits perfectly. Blasis is Welsh for delicious, and that's exactly what this independent deli specialises in. The counters are stocked with fresh cheeses, pastries and breads, along with well-presented charcuterie section. There's biscuits, olive oils and a wide range of specialty foods, making it a great stop for anyone who enjoys quality produce or wants something a little different from the usual supermarket offerings. Blasis also supports local makers, with a selection of handmade jewellery, art prints and small gifts available. It's another example of how Mold's High Street blends food, craft and community. A place where independent businesses bring real personality and charm to the town. Next along is Café Cobb, a lovely little cafe with a cosy atmosphere and a reputation for good, honest food. It specialises in traditional Welsh dishes, offering the kind of comforting home-style cooking that reflects the heritage of the area. They also cater well for vegan diners, with thoughtful options that make the menu accessible for everyone. Café Cobb isn't just a daytime stop either. They host tapas nights, including vegan tapas, which adds something a little bit different to Mold's food scene and gives the cafe a second life in the evenings. And directly across the road from here sits the Waffle Box, a bright and inviting spot that has become well known for its range of freshly made waffles. They serve breakfast waffles, savoury waffles, sweet waffles, and a full create-your-own option, giving customers the chance to build something exactly to their taste. This is another Mold shop offering something different and doing it with care and creativity. If you're enjoying our little tour around Mold so far, please consider subscribing to our channel. It really helps us grow and keeps these adventures going. And if you've appreciated the video and you'd like to support what we're doing, there's a link in the description where you can buy us a coffee or even a beer. We don't earn anything from YouTube at the moment, and these trips do cost us, but they also get us out exploring places we'd never normally visit, which we love. And if you do choose to support us, we'll give you a grateful shout out in the next video. But please, hit that subscribe button, it costs absolutely nothing but your time. While I was drooling around all the shop windows, Elaine visited Polly's Social, a beautiful modern cafe bar with a clean contemporary feel. What makes this place stand out is its direct connection to Polly's Brewery, based just up the road. Polysocial is the first venue to stock any of the brewery's new creations, and their taps carry the full core range alongside 6 of their rotating guest ales, with new releases appearing here before anywhere else. All of the beers are clearly displayed on these smart boards behind the bar, making it easy to see what's pouring and what's new. Their website is equally well presented, simple to navigate, full of tempting beer descriptions and supported by an impressive food menu. Their opening hours are Tuesday 5 till 10, Wednesday and Thursday 12 till 10:30, Friday and Saturday 12 till 11:30 and Sunday 12 till 10. Dogs and children are welcome and the atmosphere reflects that, relaxed and community minded. And their food offering is a real strength. They serve excellent Sunday roasts, with the beef coming from Polly's own grain-fed cattle, and the kitchen team includes some genuinely talented chefs. The small plates menu is especially tempting, ideal for grazing while enjoying a few beers. Polysocial also hosts live entertainment every Friday and on bank holiday weekends, and they run a strong cocktail menu alongside the beer selection. It's a modern, classy establishment with a clear identity, a showcase for the brewery, a great place to eat, and a stylish addition to Mould's hospitality scene. Elaine's next stop was Pentan, a lively and well-established local pub right in the heart of Mould. Even on a Wednesday afternoon, the place was busy, with a strong atmosphere and karaoke already lined up for later in the day. It's clearly a pub that doesn't wait for the weekend to get going. They show all the live sports, and during our visit, horse racing was taking centre stage, drawing in a steady crowd. At the bar, they serve Madry, Murphy's, Moretti, Carlin, Guinness, Strongbow, Foster's, Stella, Coors, Magners, John Smith's and Strongbow Dark Fruits, along with 2 rotating cask ales. The pub has 3 darts boards and a pool table, and on Fridays and Saturdays they host live entertainment, adding to the already lively feel of the place. The staff spoke highly of the management team, describing strong support and a great working environment. They also praised the community spirit in Mould and said this was a proper local, the kind of pub where regulars and newcomers mix easily. Pets and children are welcome, and the opening hours are Monday to Thursday 11 till 12, Friday and Saturday 11 till 1 a.m, and Sunday 12 till 12. Pentan also has a notable piece of local history. The Beatles visited here before performing at the Assembly Rooms on the High Street, and a plaque on the wall commemorates this occasion. It's a reminder that even the biggest bands in the world once passed through small towns like this. Pentan is a busy, energetic pub with a strong sense of community and a long-standing place in Mould's social life. My next stop was to meet back up with Elaine at the Fat Boar, and I'll be honest, I couldn't resist it. We visited their Wrexham restaurant in a previous episode, and I was over the moon to find out they had one here in Mould as well. There was no way I was walking past without ordering their sticky sausages again. We shared a portion of those as a starter, and we also ordered the Greta, a roasted Mediterranean vegetable and feta flatbread served with baked courgette, soft herb and mozzarella stuffed mushrooms, semi-dried tomato salsa, hummus lettuce bites, and green pesto and parmesan fries. It was absolutely superb. By the end of it, I genuinely felt like a fat boar myself. The decor here is beautiful, with a stylish interior and a gorgeous conservatory dining area. The full-length windows look out onto a well-kept outdoor seating area, giving the whole space a bright, open feel. At the bar, they serve San Miguel, Jubel Peach Beer, Kronenberg 1664, Estrella, Thatcher's Gold, Guinness, Peretti, Wrexham Lager, Sapporo and Brooklyn IPA, along with a couple of rotating cask ales. Snowdonia is always a popular choice, and they regularly feature beers from the local Havod Brewing Company. They're very active on Facebook, posting their latest offers, events and specials, so they're definitely worth a follow. Opening hours are 12 till 11, and every Thursday they host a comedy quiz night with Ross Preston. There's live entertainment with Shagger every other week, and they run a fantastic bottomless brunch every Saturday. They also mentioned that more midweek events are in the pipeline. If you've never been to a Fat Ball restaurant, they're well worth seeking out. Superb food, good drinks and a beautiful setting. Mould's branch is no exception. Elaine's next planned stop was the Mould Ex-Servicemen's Club, but that was unfortunately closed on the day. So her next call was at the Red Lion Inn, one of Mould's great old pubs with a long history in the town. The Red Lion name itself is one of the oldest and most widespread pub titles in Britain, traditionally linked to the heraldic emblem of the House of Lancaster, and later adopted widely after the Tudor period. Mould's Red Lion has been part of the town's social life for generations, and it still carries that classic traditional feel today. Inside, it's a lively, welcoming pub, serving Moretti, Banks's Amber, Kronenberg 1664, Brooklyn IPA, Carlsberg, San Miguel, Strongbow Dark Fruits, Cruz Campo, Guinness and Inch's Cider. Pets and children are welcome, and the pub has both a dartboard and a pool table, with teams for each. And the offers here are generous and unrivalled. Monday, there's free pool, free jukebox and 30% off all beer prices. Tuesday offers 20% off all day. Wednesday also has 20% off, and Thursday is darts night and 20% off. Friday, there's also 20% off until 4 p.m, and then there's live entertainment. And Saturday also has live entertainment, and Sunday becomes Sunday Fun Day. They also run a loyalty system. Buy 5 pints, collect 5 stamps and get a free pint. It's the kind of place where the offers just keep coming, and the regulars clearly appreciate it. There's a good outdoor space as well, although it was blowing a gale when we visited. The Red Lion has that classic familiar feel, a proper old pub with plenty going on throughout the week. Our next stop was the Gold Cape, Mould's Wetherspoons pub. Like every Spoons, it follows the familiar formula that people across the country know so well. The same national offers, the same reliable food menu, and the same steady flow of customers from morning until night. It's always busy, just as you'd expect from a Wetherspoons, and it serves exactly the kind of dependable pub food that has made the chain so popular. Whether you're calling in for breakfast, a quick pint, or something to eat, it delivers the consistency that regulars look for. The Gold Cape is very much what you'd expect from a Spoons. A great stop, good value, and a place that does exactly what it says on the tin. Elaine's next planned stop was supposed to be Edelin Wine and Tapas Bar, but they weren't due to open until later in the day. As luck would have it, she bumped into the manager, Fred Sankey, in another pub, and he kindly filled in our form and even sent over some photos for us to use in the video. It gave us a glimpse into a place we'll definitely be returning to when the doors are open, because we're both very fond of tapas and wine. Delin is a long-established family-run business, open for over 30 years, with the same family at the helm throughout. It's a cosy, characterful spot specialising in wine, tapas and Belgian Trappist monk beers, a range that has become a huge favourite with many of their regulars. They serve a large selection of these beers on tap, something you don't often see in a small town venue. They're open 6 till late on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and 4 till late on Fridays and Saturdays, with a lively programme of entertainment including live music, DJs and open mic nights. This is a place that blends good food, good drink and a good, relaxed, intimate atmosphere. As you'd expect, they also have a great wine selection, making it an ideal spot for anyone who enjoys pairing a glass of something interesting with a few plates of tapas. Even though we couldn't get inside on this visit, everything about Delin suggests a warm, welcoming venue with plenty of character, and one we'll be making a point of returning to. While Elaine continued around the pubs, I took a short walk up to Theatr Clwyd, one of the most important cultural landmarks in North Wales. Sitting just outside the town centre, this is Mold's flagship theatre, a major regional venue with a national reputation. Theatr Clwyd has been at the heart of the arts in Wales since the 1970s, producing its own plays, hosting touring shows and supporting everything from drama and comedy to live music, dance and family performances. The building has recently undergone a major redevelopment, modernising the spaces while keeping the character and ambition that makes it such a key part of the community. This is a place where local people come together, and it's a venue that brings world-class performances to a small Welsh town. Whether you're here for a big production, a comedy night or one of their community events, it's a brilliant asset for the area and a reminder of how much Mold has to offer beyond its pubs and high street. Back in town, near the train station, I came across a blue plaque marking one of the most dramatic and significant events in Mold's history, the Mold Riot of 1869. The riot began after miners of the nearby Leeswood Green Colliery protested against poor working conditions and the dismissal of a popular Welsh overman. Tensions escalated quickly, and when several miners were arrested and brought to Mold for trial, large crowds gathered in support. On 17th of May 1869, as the prisoners were being taken to the station for transport to Flint, the situation turned violent. Stones were thrown, soldiers escorting the prisoners opened fire, and several people were killed and injured. It was one of the most serious civil disturbances in Victorian Wales, remembered today as a moment when industrial hardship, language tensions and community loyalty collided with tragic consequences. Back in the centre of town, in the small square, stands the statue of Daniel Owen, one of Mold's most celebrated figures. Born here in 1836, Daniel Owen is widely regarded as the father of the Welsh novel, writing stories that captured everyday life, humour, hardship and the character of Welsh communities in the 19th century. This statue is a fitting tribute, a reminder of Mold's cultural heritage and the influence of a local tailor's apprentice who became one of Wales' most important authors. And nearby, you'll find a striking piece of public art, titled One Voice. It features a series of sculptured faces emerging from the brickwork, inspired by an ancient Welsh legend about unity, shared identity and the strength of community. The idea behind the artwork is that many voices can come together as one, a message that resonates strongly in a town with such deep cultural roots. The installation adds a thoughtful, almost mystical touch to this part of Mold, blending folklore with modern creativity. Another great independent business that stood out for me in the square was Flowers by Anne, a highly rated local florist with a strong reputation in the town. It's a bright, welcoming shop offering beautiful floral displays for all occasions, from celebrations, weddings to thoughtful personal arrangements. They work across all colour schemes and styles, creating everything from classic bouquets to more contemporary designs. What really comes across is the care and attention behind each arrangement, the kind of detail you only get from an experienced independent florist who knows their craft and their community. Another great independent shop that really caught my attention was the Craft Shack, and there's a brilliant little story behind it. When Emma and her husband Paul moved to North Wales with their 4 children, they didn't set out to open a craft business at all. It all started years earlier when they made a lot of decorations for their own wedding. They enjoyed it so much, once they settled here, they decided to make a few bits and see if anyone liked them. Well, people didn't just like them, they snapped them up. What began as a few handmade pieces made in their front room quickly snowballed into something much bigger. Before long, they had their own premises, a growing customer base, and more new product lines than they ever expected. Now it's a proper family operation. Everyone involved, everyone pitching in, and you can feel that energy in the shop. They're constantly adding new items, always experimenting, and clearly loving every minute of it. And like so many small businesses, the support they get from the community genuinely means the world to them. The Craft Shack is one of those places that reminds you why independent shops matter. Creativity, personality, and a family putting their heart into everything they make. And another nearby spot that stood out was the Truly Scrumptious Cafe, a lovely little place set out in a charming vintage tea room style. They serve breakfasts, afternoon teas, light lunches, and all the comforting favourites you'd expect from a place with that kind of character. It's the sort of cafe you can imagine losing an hour without even realising it. A pot of tea on the table, something sweet on the side, and the world going by outside the window. Another great place that really brought a smile to my face was Spavin's, a brilliant little sweet shop that's far more than just jars of sweets on shelves. Spavin's is one of those places that feels like stepping into a children's storybook. Bright colours, treats everywhere, and that sense of excitement you only get when you're about to fill a paper bag with whatever treats you fancy. But it's not all about the sweets. They run craft activities for kids. I actually took my daughter here about 10 years ago and she absolutely loved it. She painted a piggy bank and I'm fairly sure there was something else, maybe a mug or something like that. And she was completely absorbed in it. It's the kind of place where children get to make something, take it home and remember it for years. And once the crafting is done, they get to fill a sweet bag with anything that catches their eye. It's a bit like walking into Willy Wonka's factory, only without the risk of being turned into a blueberry and a lot more fun. Spavin's is one of those mould gems that mixes nostalgia, creativity and pure joy, and it's easy to see why families keep coming back. And another little shop that caught my eye, for very different reasons, was Anderson's Blinds, a long-established family business that's been running since 1975. It's not the kind of place you go for fun or nostalgia, but it's an impressive operation and a reminder of how many practical, specialist independents mould still has. They offer blinds, curtains and soft furnishings, covering everything from the initial design right through to fitting the finished product in your home. It's a full service, measuring, planning, choosing fabrics and installing the final piece so it looks exactly as it should. They have one showroom here in Mould and another one in St Asaph, and after nearly 50 years in business they built a strong reputation for quality and reliability. It's a much more serious stop in Mould, but an important one, the kind of family-run shop that keeps towns like Mould ticking. And just inside the bus station is the Little Cafe, a lovely independent spot that's only been open about a year, and it's already made quite an impression. In fact, it's been nominated for the Business of the Year by Mould Town Council, which tells you everything about how quickly it's become part of the community. Inside, it's beautifully done out, bright, modern, and far more stylish than you'd expect from a cafe tucked beside a bus station. They serve loose-leaf teas, coffees, cakes, and more. And it's the kind of place that feels just as suited to a quick stop-off as it does to sitting down for a quiet half hour. There's also a lovely outdoor seating area, perfect for the warmer days. Elaine's next call was number 32, but unfortunately it was closed when she arrived. Even so, it's clear from the outside that this is a classy modern bar with a lot going for it. The frontage has that smart contemporary look that tells you it's the kind of place people head for a relaxed evening drink rather than a quick pint. They host regular live music, adding a bit of atmosphere to the weekends, and one of the standout features is their hidden cocktail garden, a tucked away outdoor space that feels like a little secret in the middle of town. This is the kind of spot that comes alive on warm evenings, with cocktails, lights and the sun going down. Even though we couldn't get inside this time, number 32 looks every bit the stylish welcoming venue that adds something different to Mould's nightlife. Elaine was now on the high street at the Griffin Inn, a great little pub with offers and prices that are honestly too good to ignore. It's one of those places that keeps things simple, keeps things affordable and keeps people coming back. On the bar they serve Magners, Stella, Coors, Guinness, Moretti, Strongbow, John Smith's, Foster's and Carlin, giving plenty of choice whether you're calling in for a quick pint or settling in for the evening. Kids and dogs are welcome and they show all the live sports, which always brings in a good crowd on match days. There's a solid weekly routine here too. Quiz nights on Wednesdays, pool teams on Tuesdays, darts and dominoes on Thursdays. And that leads nicely into the weekend, with live entertainment every Friday and Saturday. A proper local pub atmosphere with music, regulars and a warm welcome. They're open 12 till 12, Sunday to Thursday, and 12 till 1 on Fridays and Saturdays, giving plenty of opportunity to drop in. They're also active on Facebook, under the name The Griffin Inn High Street Mould, where you can keep up with what's going on and check out their latest offers. Out the back there's a lovely beer garden with plenty of seating and some really nice artwork on the walls. A great spot for when the weather behaves. They keep their prices very competitive, and overall it's a friendly, welcoming bar that clearly takes pride in looking after its customers. And Elaine's next stop was the Mould Ale House, a brilliant little craft ale micropub run by Gareth and Rebecca Welsh. It opened in 2016, and it didn't take long for people to realise something special was happening here. In fact, just 18 months after opening, they finished third in the CAMRA Wales Pub of the Year 2017. An incredible achievement for such a young pub. And the awards didn't stop there. They went on to win the Regional Pub of the Year in 2022, again in 2024, then took Pub of the Year in 2025, along with Local Pub of the Year 2025, and most recently the Vale of Clwyd Pub of the Year 2026. It's a long list, but it tells you everything about the standards they keep. The alehouse is open Wednesday 2 till 10, Thursday and Friday 3 till 10, Saturday 2 till 10 and Sunday 3 till 9. And they're known for continually rotating their beers. They aim to have 9 ales and 4 ciders on at all times, which keep things interesting and gives regulars something new to try every visit. The pub itself is housed in a beautiful building and it's kept immaculately clean, one of those places where you could tell the owners take real pride in every detail. Even the bar snacks are a step away from the usual. Instead of the standard Walkers or Golden Wonder, you'll find things like sausage flavoured crisps, snacking pickles and chili pork pepperoni style snacks. Small touches, but they add to the character of the place. The Mould Ale House is exactly what a good micropub should be. Welcoming, well kept, full of personality and absolutely dedicated to great beer. Elaine's next stop was the Beer Lab, another excellent craft ale venue that's quickly made a name for itself in mould. They're open 3 till 10 during the week and 1 till 11 at the weekend, and it's a relaxed, welcoming place where both pets and kids are allowed. Very much a community-minded bar. One of the standout features here is their regular charity quizzes. Teams can have up to 6 players, entry is £3 per person, and the winning team gets to choose which charity receives the funds. It's a simple idea, but it's a brilliant way to raise money for good causes while keeping things fun and sociable. The Beer Lab also has another pub over in Heswell, and although the Mould branch has only been open for 3 years, it's already picking up awards. They've won the Camera Vale of Clwyd Cider Pub of the Year for 2025 and again in 2026, which is a huge achievement for such a young venue. The bar is super clean, well kept and clearly loved by its regulars, most of whom are known by name. But at the same time, visitors are welcomed just as warmly by the team. Niall and Kay, the manager Luke and the owner Ryan. It's one of those places where you feel at ease straight away, whether you're a local or just passing through. The Beer Lab is another strong example of Mould's growing craft ale scene. Friendly, modern, community focused and already punching well above its weight. And the next stop was the Bryn Griffiths Social Club, better known around town as the Top Club. You'll also find them on Facebook under Top Club Mould, where they post updates, events and everything happening inside this long-standing community venue. At the bar, they serve Caffrey's Black Stout, Stone's Bitter, Worthington's, Thatcher's Gold, Madry, Guinness, Coors and Carlin. They're open 1 till 11 Monday to Friday, 12 till 11 on Saturdays and Sundays. Dogs are allowed and kids are welcome up until 9 p.m. They show all the live sports and there's plenty to keep people entertained. A darts board, a pool table and 2 full-size snooker tables. There's a stage ready for live events, all advertised on their Facebook page, and they run bingo every Tuesday with a 6:30 p.m. start. Wednesdays they offer free use of the pool table, which always goes down well with the regulars. The barmaid told us that the people of Mould are incredibly friendly and that there's a real community feel in the town, and you can sense that in here and everywhere else we've been today. The walls are lined with brilliant displays, including framed photos from the opening night on July the 5th, 1965. There's a striking picture of Jack Johnson, the World Heavyweight Champion, standing over the brave Stanley Ketchel, who stepped up from middleweight to challenge for the World Heavyweight title. And there's a beautifully framed Lester Piggott tribute by Stuart McIntyre, complete with highlights from Piggott's legendary career. There's also a display featuring a Mould boxing team and group photos from trips to Montenegro and North Macedonia. Although it is a members club, they welcome non-members and anyone can apply to join. It's got that classic social club ethos, friendly, down to earth, full of history and very much part of Mould's community fabric. My next stop was the Mould War Memorial, located at the bottom of Bailey Hill and just a short walk from the Bailey Hill Centre. It's a peaceful, reflective space, a place where the town pauses to remember those from Mould who lost their lives in conflict. The memorial itself stands with quiet dignity, surrounded by well-kept grounds that give a sense of calm even on a busy day. It's one of those spots that remind you how much history sits within a town, not just in buildings and plaques, but in the names and stories of the people who lived here. And just above it rises Bailey Hill, one of Mould's most historic landmarks. The hill has been part of the town's story for centuries, once the site of a Norman Mott and Bailey fortification. Today, it's a green, wooded space with walking paths, viewpoints and a real sense of heritage running through it. And the Bailey Hill Centre will tell you all you need to know about this landmark. And this is where we come to a piece of Mould's history that is far older than Bailey Hill itself. The story of the Mould Gold Cape. This remarkable artefact dates back to the early Bronze Age, somewhere between 1900 and 1600 BC, and it's considered one of the most spectacular examples of prehistoric gold craftsmanship ever found in Europe. The cape was discovered in 1833 at Goblin's Hill, I can't say the Welsh version, when workmen uncovered a stone-lined burial mound. Inside were the crushed remains of a solid sheet gold cape, originally worn by a person of very slight build, possibly a young woman or a child, based on comparisons with similar burials. The cape itself is incredibly intricate. A single ingot of gold hammered into a thin sheet and decorated with rows of raised patterns designed to imitate strings of beads or folded cloth. It would have covered the shoulders, upper chest and the upper arms, restricting movement so much that it could only have been used for ceremonial purposes, likely connected to religious or social leadership. Alongside the gold were hundreds of amber beads, bronze fragments and traces of a leather lining, though only one bead survives today. The burial also contained an urn with cremated remains nearby, adding to the mystery of the person who once wore this extraordinary object. Today, the Mould Gold Cape is held by the British Museum, and it remains one of the most important Bronze Age finds ever uncovered in Britain. This shows that long before Mould was a market town, it was already a place of significance, ceremony and craftsmanship. And just outside Mould you've got some brilliant walking spots, and they're all only a short drive away. Mould Famai Country Park is the big one, the highest point in the Clwydian range, with paths for all abilities and those wide sweeping views once you reach the Jubilee Tower at the top. It's one of those places where you can spend an hour or a whole afternoon and feel like you've properly escaped into the hills. And a little further along is Loggerheads Country Park, a beautifully wooded valley with riverside paths, limestone cliffs and plenty of places to stop and take in the scenery. It's a really popular spot for families, dog walkers and anyone who just wants a peaceful wander in nature. And in this park is the Devil's Gorge, a dramatic limestone chasm tucked into the landscape. It's a striking place to see in person, steep rock walls, dense woodland and that slightly mysterious feel that comes with these old natural features. And right next to Loggerheads is the well-known pub, We Three Loggerheads. We didn't manage to get to it today, but it's a familiar landmark for anyone who walks the area. A classic country pub that's been welcoming walkers and locals for generations. And the last little local attraction worth mentioning is the Northop Heritage Trail. I've taken a photograph of the route map and the stops so you can see it clearly in the video. But it's a lovely short trail that gives you a real sense of the village history. The route takes you past some of Northop's key landmarks, old buildings, churches and places that have shaped the community over the centuries. It's a walk that doesn't take long, but it leaves you with a better understanding of how much heritage sits quietly in these small villages around Mould. And back in Mould, there's a few more standout shops that we need to mention. The first of these in this part of town is Cravin, a brilliant little shop tucked in amongst the market stalls. It's one of those places that immediately pulls you in with the smell alone, a mix of sweet treats and savoury bakes coming straight from the counter. They're well known for their gourmet sausage rolls, and they don't hold back on variety either, with 9 different flavours to choose from. This is the kind of thing that keeps people coming back just to try the next one on the list. Alongside those you'll find amazing cakes and treats, all freshly made and displayed in a way that makes it very hard to walk past without picking something up. Cravin is a perfect example of the independence that give Mould its character, small, creative, full of personality and right at the heart of its market town. And the next stop is Pwdin Bach, a wonderful, independent business specialising in handmade children's clothing. It's a bright, creative little place and you can see the talent behind it the moment you step inside. They work from a full catalogue of patterns, so you can choose exactly what you want, from the design to the fabric, making each piece completely personal. There's knitwear, dresses, teddies and all sorts of beautifully made items, each one stitched with real care and attention. And next was Taster's Delicatessen, a lovely little deli packed with good food and proper homemade flavour. It's one of those shops where the counter is full, the choice is huge and everything looks like it's been made with care. They sell eggs, fresh bread, sandwiches, toasties, pies, salads, jacket potatoes, cakes, soups, scones, bada breath and plenty more. This is a place where you can pop in for one thing and end up leaving with a bag full of extras. In fact, I would dare you to walk in and not buy something. And the next stop was Picky Penelope, a great little vintage and pre-loved clothing shop right in the heart of Mould. It's packed with unique one-off pieces and it's a sort of place where you can easily lose track of time browsing through the rails. They stock a mix of men's and women's clothing with plenty of top branded items at really good prices, alongside more unusual finds you won't see anywhere else. It's a proper treasure hunt kind of shop. Every visit feels different and there's always something else that catches your eye. Then there's Wiccan Hart, a distinctive little shop specialising in Gothic, Wiccan and pagan goods. It's one of those places that immediately stands out, shelves full of character, colour and symbolism, with a real sense of atmosphere as soon as you get inside. They stock a wide range of things: incense, lamps, spiritual items and all sorts of pieces connected to alternative beliefs and traditions. Whether you're into the spiritual side of things or you just appreciate something a bit different, it's a fascinating shop to browse through. And our last little stop is Gray's Coffee Kiosk, a brilliant little spot right in the heart of Mould. They're not just here on market days either, they're serving all week, every day except Sunday, and they've built up a loyal following because of it. They offer a great range of coffees, all at prices noticeably cheaper than the big high street chains, and the quality is spot on. Alongside the drinks, they do hot and cold sandwiches, a few other bits, making it an easy place to grab something on the go while you're wandering through the market area. And it's worth saying a little about why Mould Town Centre seems to be working when so many other towns are struggling. And there's no single answer really, but a few things stand out. For one, Mould Town Council genuinely gets behind the shops. You can see it in the way events are supported, shops opening are attended by councillors, how the market is managed, and how the independents feel part of something bigger than left to fend for themselves. The kind of backing makes a difference. Or maybe it's because of the market, which doesn't just sit alongside the shops, it works with them. The traders, the independents, the cafes, the kiosks, they all feed into the same atmosphere. It creates footfall, energy, and a sense of life that a lot of towns have lost. Or maybe it's simply that Mould's businesses are so unique and diverse. You've got craft ale bars, handmade clothing, vintage shops, delis, spiritual stores, bakeries, kiosks, all run by people who care about what they're doing. There's personality here and people respond to that. I don't know exactly what the magic ingredient is, but whatever it is, it works. Mould is a great little town, full of good shops and a great market, and it feels like a place that still has its community at the centre of it all. Next, we headed over to Sawton. That's the English version anyway. I'm not sure how to say the Welsh one. I think it's Sychdyn? Anyway, we went to visit their only pub, the Cross Keys. It's a lovely pub both inside and out, with a bit of history behind it. The building has served the village for generations, and like many old Welsh inns, it's been a meeting place, a social hub, and a landmark for locals and travellers alike. You can feel the heritage as soon as you walk through the door. Traditional features, a warm layout, and that classic village pub atmosphere that never really goes out of style. On the bar, they had two cask ales, both from Faces Brewery. One was their Splendid Ale, and the other one looked to be a rotating guest, this time the Six Nations Special Prop Pint. They also serve Guinness, Somersby Cider, Tetley Smooth, Peretti, Carlsberg and Kronenberg 1664, so there's plenty of choice for all tastes. There was a good crowd in, and the pub keeps steady hours, Monday and Tuesday 4 till 10, Thursday and Friday 4 till 11, Saturday and Sunday 12 till 11. They run occasional quiz nights and occasional live entertainment, and there's a pool table with a team that plays on Tuesdays. It's very much a community pub, relaxed, friendly and well used by the locals. The Cross Keys also offers accommodation, which makes it an ideal base for exploring this part of North Wales or even dipping into North West England. It's close to Mould, it's close to Chester, not far from Liverpool, close to the countryside and perfectly placed for anyone wanting a quiet stay with a proper pub downstairs. Our next stop, over in Northop, was the Boot Inn, and what a stunning pub this is, inside and out. It's one of those buildings that immediately catches your eye, traditional, full of character and clearly well looked after. The Boot has been part of village life for generations, serving locals, visitors and families long before the modern road network grew around it. Like many old Welsh inns, it has that unmistakable mix of history and homeliness, with original features still proudly on display. On the bar, they're serving Old Moat Cider, Inches Cider, John Smith's, Stella, Madry, Moretti, Cruz Campo, Carlin, Coors and Guinness. They also had London Pride on draft, and I believe they stock Black Sheep and 6X as well, a really solid mix of ales and lagers. They run a quiz every Monday, and they occasionally host open mic nights and live music, which fits the atmosphere perfectly. Kids and dogs are welcome, and they show all the live sports, so it's a proper all-rounder of a village pub. There's some brilliant items on display, and there's plenty of lovely features. Timber beam ceilings, traditional furniture, and the original fireplace that gives the place its warmth and character. One of the more interesting displays is a framed piece about the Boot Inn Goblin. Apparently, he's a relatively harmless little creature, and he's said to live under the footbridge behind the pub where the stream runs through. I'll be honest, I might take the long way round next time. Food-wise, they serve great Sunday roasts and the menu is full of variety. They've got a range of pub classics, beer battered fish and chips, sausage and mash, classic burgers, southern fried chicken burgers, mac and cheese, steak and ale pie, and a few others. And Monday to Friday you can pick any two for just $14.99. On top of that, kids eat from Monday to Thursday for just £1. Terms and conditions apply. There's a lovely outdoor area, both at the front and the back, perfect for catching the sun wherever it is and whenever it decides to appear. The Pwdin was one of those pubs that blends history, charm and community, a proper Northop landmark that still feels alive and welcoming. The barmaid told us that she loves that Northop is a traditional village, the kind where everyone is friendly and welcoming, and you really do feel that when you're in here. She also mentioned something we had no idea about, the Northop Miniature Railway, another local attraction worth checking out when you're in the area. Thank you for pointing that out. And our next stop, just at the top of the road, was the Red Lion, another absolute beauty of a pub. The building has a striking Tudor-style frontage, the kind that immediately tells you that this place has been part of the village for a long time. It's full of character even before you get inside. On the bar they were serving Guinness, Moretti, Inch's Cider, Madry, Worthingtons, Coors, Cruz Campo, Neck Oil IPA, and on draft they had Hobgoblin and Wainwright Gold. A really solid lineup with something for everyone. The Red Lion runs quiz and bingo nights, themed nights, charity nights and even charity dog walks. They also host live music, entertainment, karaoke and open mic nights, all on occasion. It's a proper community pub with plenty going on. One of the standout features here is the beautifully decorated function room. It's half wood panelled with wisteria-style flowers draped across the space, giving it a look that's genuinely Instagrammable. The ceiling is high, almost barn-like, and whatever the room once was, it's now a stunning space for all occasions. Dogs and children are welcome, and there's a nice outside seating area, which still looked great even in the twilight when we visited. Inside, the atmosphere is warm and homely, the kind of place where you settle in quickly. The staff here spoke very highly of the local community, echoing what we'd already heard elsewhere in the area. Friendly people, a welcoming village and a real sense of togetherness. It's clear that the Red Lion is part of that fabric, a traditional village pub that still feels lively, loved and well used. And now our last stop takes us over to Northop Hall to visit the Top Monkey, a busy welcoming pub with a name that immediately grabs your attention. There are a few stories about where the name came from, but none of them are actually confirmed, and that's part of the charm. Depending on who you ask, you'll hear a different tale, and by all accounts, nobody actually knows the real truth. And that mystery has become part of the pub's identity. It's a comfortable, friendly space with a proper village pub feel. On the bar, they serve Foster's, Marsden Smooth, 1664, San Miguel, Cruz Campo, and they have Wainwright Gold on draft. They also offer Bulmer cider, 3 bottles for just £10, and a great range of cocktails, which adds a nice twist to the usual village pub lineup. Dogs and children are welcome and they show all the live sports, which keeps the place lively throughout the week. They run a quiz every Tuesday, bingo twice a month, and they occasionally host live entertainment. It's one of those pubs where there's always something happening, and the atmosphere reflects that. They're open Monday to Friday, 3 till 11, Saturday and Sunday, 11 till 12. The staff here spoke very highly of the community spirit in Northop Hall. Friendly people, a supportive village, and a pub that sits right at the heart of it. You can feel it when you're inside. It's busy, comfortable and instantly welcoming. There's lots of old pictures on the walls, along with displays that touch on the pub's history and the long-running debate about how it came to be known as the Top Monkey. None of the explanations are official, but that only adds to the fun. A bit of local folklore that keeps the conversation going. They also have a busy presence on Facebook, when they post all their events and offers, at the Top Monkey Northop Hall. The Top Monkey is a great final stop. A lively, characterful pub with a warm atmosphere, plenty going on and a community that clearly loves it. And that brings us to the end of our journey through Buckley, Mould, Sawton, Northop and Northop Hall. A proper tour of some of the friendliest places you could hope to visit on a cold, windy, wet day like today. We started by putting things right in Buckley, giving a well-deserved mention to the Hope and Anchor and the Buckley Conservative Club, two places that we should never have missed in the first place. From there we made our way to Mould, a town that genuinely surprised us with just how lively, welcoming and full of character it is. Mould is working in a way that so many towns sadly aren't anymore. While other places are struggling with boarded up shops, endless rows of charity shops, Mould still feels alive, and that's down to a few things. One is definitely the shop owners, who put their heart into everything they do. And then there's the market traders who bring energy and footfall. And you've got to praise Mould Town Council, who clearly support the town instead of letting it fade away. It all comes together to create a town centre that still has personality, variety and a proper sense of community. We visited some brilliant independents: Cravin, Pwdin Bach, Tasters, Delicatessen, Penelope, Wiccan Hart and Gray's Coffee Kiosk, just to name a few. Each one added something unique to the town. These shops are run by talented, hard-working people, and they deserve every bit of praise for keeping Mould interesting, creative and different. And of course, Mould's market continues to be one of the biggest strengths, working hand in hand with the shops rather than competing with them. Add in the local attractions, Bailey Hill, the story of the Mould Gold Cape, Mulvamai, Loggerheads, the Devil's Gorge and the Northop Heritage Trail, and don't forget the miniature railway, and you've got towns and surrounding areas that's full of reasons to visit. From Mould, we headed out to the villages, starting with Sawton, or Sychdyn, and the Cross Keys, a warm traditional pub with great food, great beer and a proper community feel. Then on to Northop, where both the Boot Inn and the Red Lion showed us exactly what village pubs should be, full of history, and people who genuinely care about their community. We even learned about the Boot Inn Goblin and the Northop Miniature Railway, two things we never expected to come across today. And finally, we reached Northop Hall and the Top Monkey, a busy, welcoming pub with a name wrapped in mystery and a team who clearly love the village they serve. Once again, we heard the same thing we'd heard all day. The community here is strong, friendly and proud of where they live. To everyone we met, the shop owners, the pub staff, the locals who stopped for a chat, thank you. Thank you for welcoming us so warmly on a day when the weather was doing its best to chase everyone indoors. Your kindness and enthusiasm made this whole trip what it was. If you've enjoyed this episode and you've got ideas for where you'd like to see us next, drop us a comment below and we'll see what we can do. We love exploring these towns and villages, and your suggestions help shape where we go. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one.